Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Joshua Long. It's good to be here. Is that coming in nice and clear? So this is an opening song that I wrote called Pause and Reflect. So just find yourself in a place of worship and reflection and hear these words. Pause and reflect. Breathe and release. Repair your universe and restore all your heart's worth and proceed to be and proceed to heal the world. Pause and reflect. Breathe and release. Repair your universe and restore all your heart's worth and proceed to be and proceed to heal the world, to heal the world, to heal the world, to heal the world.
Hang on. Good morning and welcome to the virtual Sunday service of Paint Branch Unitarian Universalist Church. What a joy it is to gather online, to create a community, and to support one another on life's journey. My name is Susannah Schiller, and I'm one of 7 worship associates, lay members who collaborate with our minister, Rachel Christensen, and other service leaders on Sunday mornings. Whoever you are, wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. Whether you logged in on your iPhone, your Android, or your laptop, you are welcome here. Whether you're straight, gay, bi, questioning, trans, old, young, of a certain age, you are welcome here. Whatever your race, color, ethnicity, gender, political beliefs, gifts, you are welcome here. We are a community striving to live our Unitarian Universalist principles as individuals and as a congregation. We welcome those already here and those still to arrive. Before we move into worship, make sure you know how to use Zoom. Find that mute button, the microphone icon, and make sure you are muted. Rachel has muted you all, so if you don't touch it, you should be good. And bring up your chat screen. The bubble for your chat screen is in a different place depending on what kind of device you're using. To start off in chat, please say how many people are in attendance via your connection. 1 if it's just you, That way we can get a sense of how many are attending the service today. And if you're visiting us for the first or second time and are willing, post who you are in chat and provide contact information there if you're willing to be contacted. After the service, we will have coffee hour breakout rooms again. Stay on Zoom and you'll be grouped at random with several other participants. Enjoy visiting with them. I did it last week and it was great. And now I have a few announcements. If you or a friend or neighbor need assistance with food, please let Reverend Rachel know. Paint Branch can help. From the Stewardship Committee, the Come Together 2020 annual campaign officially ended last Sunday, but we are short of our goal. Now more than ever, we ask you to think about how your Paint Branch community is here to support you. Please let us know in the chat bar during today's service that I am ready to make my pledge. A Stewardship Committee member will contact you after the service to receive your verbal or electronic pledge. Thank you all for your incredible generosity. Our second live auction online event with entertainment will be this afternoon at 4 o'clock. More information is available on the Paint Branch website. And now I'm pleased to welcome Joshua Long as our guest minister today. Josh is a talented musician whose ministry has led him to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Annapolis, where he serves as the Director of Music Ensembles and Membership Manager. Josh is also a student at Wesley Theological Seminary, studying for music ministry. He'll be playing some original music from his new album, which you can check out on his website, jlongmusic.com. Welcome, Josh.
So let us be in an attitude of worship, our call to worship this morning. 437 from the grave. Let us worship. Let us worship with our eyes, ears, and fingertips. Let us love the world through heart, mind, and body. We feed our eyes upon the mystery and revelation in the faces of our brothers and sisters. We seek to know the wistfulness of the very young and the very old, the wistfulness of people in all times of life. We seek to understand the shyness behind arrogance, the fear behind pride, the tenderness behind clumsy strength, the anguish behind cruelty. All life flows into a great common life if we will only open our eyes to our companions. Let us worship, not in bowing down, not with closed eyes and stopped ears. Let us worship with the opening of all the windows of our beings, with the full outstretching of our spirits. Life comes with singing, laughter, with tears and confiding, with a rising wave too great to be held in the mind, the heart, and body. To those who have fallen in love with life, let us worship and let us learn to love. So our opening hymn, if you will, is 183, The Wind of Change Forever Blown. And we do have a slide, 2 slides. We're going to sing 2 verses. And at home, what I want you to do is just to sing either to yourself or with your family. And even if you're not really familiar with the tune, even just saying the words, I think will be good for us in this time. So the winds of change forever blown. The winds of of change forever blown across the tumult of our way. Tomorrow's unborn brief depose the sorrows of our yesterday. Dreams yield to dreams, strive follows strife, and death unweave the web of life. The hand elusive and afar still lures us with its beckoning flight, and our immortal moments are a session of the infinite. How shall we reach the great unknown nirvana of our lotus throne? Thank you.
And now it is time to light our chalice. There we go. The chalice is lit behind me. What I'd like to do is to have everyone say the words to the chalice lighting with me at home, but don't unmute. We'll just say them. You can hear yourself. I won't be able to hear you, but I know you'll be saying them. We light the chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is the church of the open mind, the helping hands, and the loving heart, and the radiant spirit. Encendamos este caliz para celebrar el Unitarismo Universalismo. Esta es la iglesia de la mente abierta, de las manos amigas, del amor, del corazón, y del espíritu radiante.
Good morning, my good people. I am Chris McCann. I am your religious educator. And today, our service is about feelings and emotions, and there are a lot of them. Not only am I having feelings and emotions, I am having feelings about my feelings. When I feel a sense of dread, I feel a sense of guilt, because my life and my privilege allow me to follow the stay-at-home directives of my state. When I feel hope, I feel guilty because there isn't hope for a lot of people. And these emotions pile and pile and pile, and I don't know how to name them. And so I wander my house restlessly. Restlessness is not an emotion. I learned that yesterday. Restlessness is an escape from emotion. And as I try to handle my emotions, I remembered Mr. Rogers. And so I did a deep dive into watching Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And Mr. Rogers tells us that feelings are mentionable and manageable. And so I wonder, as we have all of these feelings, sometimes all in the same minute, let alone the same day, if we can sit with ourselves and ask ourselves, what am I feeling? And not how can I escape the feeling, but how can I enter the feeling, knowing that this too shall pass. And so I invite all of you, as we feel all of these feelings, especially if you're feeling restless or feeling like you want to escape, sit with yourself. Remember that feelings are mentionable and manageable, and just feel your feelings. Another one will come along shortly. Thank you, everyone. It's very good to be together today.
All my life, pandemics were something that happened over there to them. SARS, Ebola were all things that happened to other people. To an extent, that's still true. I don't personally know anyone who is actually sick. But the impact of the movement restrictions in our country are definitely affecting me, and I'm one of the lucky ones. I have a job with the federal government that can be done remotely. So after a flurry of activity for a couple of weeks to make sure everyone at my agency was telework ready, work life has settled down into a pattern. Roll out of bed, maybe shower or not, maybe change clothes or not, grab some breakfast and sit down at the computer. Get up to grab some lunch and sit back down at the computer to eat it. Feel cranky by mid-afternoon with the physical inactivity. In some ways, communication has actually improved. I like to take walks in the late afternoon, as do my neighbors, and I've seen more of them recently than I ever did when I was commuting from Laurel to Gaithersburg every day. From at least 6 feet away, of course. My monthly book club met via Zoom in March, and we had a great time. I've had regular group FaceTime calls with my daughters. At work, everyone checks in with each other when they log on, teleworking and health status both. I have meetings with lots of different people throughout the day, and my colleagues and I have all been increasing our skills with multiple collaboration tools, Skype for Business, Blue Jeans, WebEx. Zoom is not actually on our work list. And yet, I've got a bad case of the blahs. I can easily identify some of the reasons. The worry about my daughter and her fiance, who are both unemployed right now, and likely to stay that way until life goes back to normal. The physical inertia of not moving around very much, not getting a change of scenery. The absence of activities that bring joy to my life, like choir practice and a good workout in the gym. I'm sure these are all taking a toll on me emotionally. The pace of my life has also changed dramatically. I've slammed on the brakes. We put a down payment on a new house in late February, and for the first few weeks of March, I was scrambling to declutter my current home so we could put it on the market. My house has never looked so good, but the market has also come to a screeching halt. At work, as we got everyone at my agency set up for telework in mid-March, the emails, IMs, and conference calls were fast and furious. But now that everyone is successfully teleworking, I'm back to doing my day job. The adrenaline rush is past. I know I should take advantage of this enforced isolation, this extra time not spent commuting or dressing for success, this calm after the flurry of activity that was early March, to meditate or read something thought-provoking, or otherwise dig deeper within my own soul. But I have a hard time letting go of watching the news and following the rapidly changing illness and economic statistics. Is this a replacement for the adrenaline rush of last month? And I, like all of you, wonder, when will life change again? How will it change? What will the new normal look like? And will I like it? Writing this reflection forced me to think about tangible steps I can take to pull myself out of the rut of all COVID-19 all the time. Here are a couple of ideas I've brainstormed. 1, do something intentional with the extra hour a day that I'm not in my car. Read a book, FaceTime a friend or cousin so I can really connect. Work on a stained glass project. Number 2, count my blessings by thinking of something different to be thankful for each day. 365 days of gratitude is a thing on Facebook. Why not in my life too? None of this is profound or innovative, but I'm going to pick one and try it out for a week. Now it's time for our intonation. Let us join our hearts and minds in a time of prayer and meditation. As we gather together in community, we carry with us life's hurts and its great joys. Sometimes sharing these joys and concerns in community can help. Now, while we listen to Josh play his piece, Reaching Out, I encourage you to submit your joys and sorrows by entering them into the chat bar.
reaching out to someone, 'cause I can't do it all on my own. I'm reaching out to someone, 'cause I can't do it all on my own. I want to take charge of my life, but clay doesn't hold its own knife, chipping away my desires, setting the past on fire. I'm reaching out to someone, 'cause I can't do it all on my own. I'm reaching out to someone, 'cause I can't do it all on my own. My God supplies all my needs. He gave unto me a community. You'll be surprised if you try it. Don't be afraid, don't fight it. I'm reaching out to someone, 'cause I can't do it all on my own. Oh, Lord, weeping may endure through the nights, but joy cometh early in the morning light. I'm reaching out to someone, 'cause I can't do it all on my own. I'm reaching out to someone, I'm reaching out to someone, 'cause I can't do it all on my own. Oh, I'm reaching out to someone, I'm reaching out to someone, 'cause I can't do it all on my own. Oh, I'm reaching out to someone, I'm reaching out to someone, 'cause I can't do it all on my own.
Let us take a moment to acknowledge all that has been shared, as well as those joys and sorrows that remain unspoken and yet are on our minds and in our hearts. May we hold all these and one another in love and kindness, so that this congregation may be a support of strength and comfort, courage and hope in the days and weeks ahead.
So if you will, as we think of all our joys and sorrows, all that is on our hearts and minds at this time, I want us to move into a meditative space. Just find a comfortable position in your seat. Just find your breath. Just breathing in and breathing out. There might be some soft music you're hearing at the moment. So just breathe with me. Breathing in, breathing out. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. Just take nice, slow, deep breaths with me, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Just be aware of what is, whether sounds you might hear, whether it's the music in the background. It could be the hum of a computer, the birds in the background. It could be, if you have children playing, crying, whatever it is, just be aware. What I want us to do right now is just to be in our bodies. Be aware of the sensation. Be aware of our feet, our toes. I want to wiggle them some. And just sort of scan your body, finding presence as we move up from the feet to the ankles, to the knees. Whatever sensation or no sensation there is, just having awareness. Moving up through the hips, torso, the mid-body. We don't want to judge our bodies. We don't want to put labels on good or bad. But just observe. Body is. And as you move up, moving through our root energy, chakra, through the sacral, into the gut, the stomach. Be aware of the energy centers that are there. Up into the heart, the chest, sort of our center. And as we do this, I want us to be aware of any emotions we're feeling, any tension that we have in the body. Do we feel fear? Do we feel joy? Do we feel anxious? Do we feel empathy? Again, we don't judge either of these emotions, they just are. Moving up through the hands, the arms, the fingers, to our shoulders, our back, up through the neck. Up into our faces. Our jaw, teeth, mouth, nose, sinuses, eyes, ears, all the way to the crown of our head, Just be aware. Be aware of the body. Any thoughts that are coming to you, do not judge your thoughts. They are just thoughts. Our emotions and feelings, they are just feelings. Just stay in this space with me for a little bit. And as you're in this meditative space, I want to offer two readings. The first one comes from the Gospel of Mark, the Christian Scriptures. On that day, when evening had come, he said to them, "Let us go across to the other side." And leaving the crowd behind, they took him with them in the boat, just as he was. Other boats were with him. A great windstorm arose, and the waves beat into the boat, so that the boat was already being swamped. But he was in the stern, asleep on the cushion. And they woke him up and said to him, "Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?" He woke up and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, "Peace, be still." Then the wind ceased, and there was a dead calm. And he said to them, "Why are you afraid? Have you still no faith?" And they were filled with great awe and said to one another, "Who then is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him?" So as we hear, just imagine, visualize what it's like to be on the sea and the wind, to be in a storm on the ocean. What would you be feeling? And what would it be like to see the teacher, the rabbi, asleep during this all? And his response, "Peace, be still." Amidst all the chaos, peace, be still. Our second reading is from the Hindu mystic Ramakrishna, entitled Perfect Awareness. The Paramahamsa, or awakened being, is like a 5-year-old child. He sees everything filled with consciousness. At one time, I was staying at Kamarkapur when Shivaram, my nephew, was 4 or 5 years old. One day, he was trying to catch a grasshopper near the pond. The leaves were moving. To stop their rustling, he said to the leaves, "Hush, hush, I want to catch a grasshopper." Another day, it was stormy. It rained hard, and Shivaram was with me inside the house. There were flashes of lightning. He wanted to open the door and go out. I scolded him and stopped him, but still he peeped out now and then. When he saw the lightning, he exclaimed, "There, uncle, they are striking matches again." So just take 2 slow, deep breaths. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. You can come back here. Feel free to rub your hands together, just to kind of feel your senses, or tap your toes. So welcome everybody. It's really good to be here with you virtually, and I bring my great wishes and best from the Unitarian Universalist Church of Annapolis, and we are all in this together. We are all in this time where we really are just doing one day at a time. And so what I wanted to explore today, this idea of emotions, and I thought about emojis, those icons that have really taken off in how we communicate digitally in the past few years. They even made a movie about them. And I liked the movie. A lot of people didn't, but I thought it was a good movie. But maybe I'm just weird. But I want us to be really aware and present with what we are feeling, what our emotions are, especially in this moment. And I'll speak for my own space. This is particularly interesting for cis-straight men. Our culture has conditioned cis-straight gendered men like myself to not feel, to ignore emotions or stuff them. And if we identify maybe as a white man, then passion, anger, and rage, excitement, they might be acceptable emotions, but across the spectrum, sadness, fear, anxiety, confusion, depression, despite whatever race, are all seen as weak. Emotions are sometimes put onto those who identify as female, as a woman. But the truth of the matter is that emotions and feelings don't have a gender. They do not conform to our standards. All of us experience a range of different emotions on a daily basis. And amidst a national emergency, our emotional centers are most likely amplified in some way. I can at least speak for myself that I've had to make an extra check-in call with my therapist a few times. So how do we become aware of our emotions? How do we become present to what is? And I thought about these two readings. I think both Jesus and Ramakrishna's nephew make a good point about awareness. Jesus doesn't judge the storm. He just says, peace, be still. For Jesus, there is no separation between his humanity and the wind. He is aware of what is happening, but then he calmly takes an action. In the Hindu tale, the boy wants to catch the grasshopper, so he tells the wind to hush, hush. He doesn't see a separation between himself and nature. And again, the boy is aware of the wind, but feels he can speak of it. It isn't logical to speak to the wind. It isn't logical to see the lightning as someone striking matches. But for some reason, these great masters from different traditions are pointing us to think beyond logic and reason. And maybe that is what the present moment is calling us to. I don't know about you, but if all I do is absorb info about the pandemic or the government's response, if all I do is look for facts, the end result for my well-being is not always the best. And that is hard for me as a UU. I personally love science. I love to see what's the actual truth behind the matter, what's going on. And I appreciate our UU values of science and reason. The union of faith and the intellect is a value that we all cherish deeply. But our fifth principle reminds us to be wary of the idolatries of the science and mind, of reason and faith, that we can't put one above the other. And so our emotions tap into our faith. And I believe our faith is calling us to be present with what is. So maybe this is a moment in which we are called to be with our bodies, to be with our mind, to be with our spirits. Maybe we are called to focus on our home or nature, spend time with family, as was mentioned earlier, to find gratitude in everything. Or maybe we are just supposed to be in the stillness. I have a friend who told me that even though he had been laid off, he sees it as a gift to go into more silence and contemplation, to hush, to listen, and to not judge any of it, but just be aware of what is. The awareness of what we feel can be one of the greatest teachers. Now, don't get me wrong, we need the facts to make sound decisions for our society, yes. But even on the macro and micro, on the personal and cultural, on society and global, I think we have to take time to tend to our emotions. The ups and downs that we are feeling. I think that mindfulness and awareness, telling the world and ourselves, peace be still, will lead to new breakthroughs in our lives, even during this time. For me, it is interesting being a musician. There is this mentality that we have to hustle, we have to work hard. And I don't think it's just for musicians. I think this is an American cultural trope. This is we value these ideas of work as hard as you can, this notions of meritocracy. So for myself, I've gone inward. I've done some journaling. I've been reading some books. I've been writing more music. And I've noticed the universe is telling me that productivity does not equal my worth. And that's hard for us Americans in this culture. Brene Brown talks about in her book, The Gift of Imperfection. She says this about perfectionism, and I think it speaks to all of us. She says, somewhere along the way, we adopt this dangerous and debilitating belief system. I am what I accomplish and how well I accomplish it. Well, COVID-19 seems to think you are just a human being. And your accomplishments, and I say this with grace, but to the virus, your accomplishments, they don't mean anything. They don't mean anything to this great equalizer of a pandemic. So I think we must go inward. I think we must remember that we have inherent worth and dignity, not earned by accomplishment and value, but because we are human, because that humanness is good. To be human is to be connected even across physical distance. To be human is to be a part of a larger natural world. There are times when we must go outside and find community and meaning and love, but I think COVID-19 may be calling us to sit with our feelings, our emotions, and cultivate self-compassion, a connection with our deepest selves, and to have true self-love for who we are. Self-compassion, connection with ourselves, and love for who we truly are. That's what I think this moment is calling us toward. So after the meditation, the readings, and these few words, I want to check in with you. How are your emotions doing? What are you feeling these days? And what are your emotions or feelings calling you toward in this moment? You can leave a comment or an emoji in the chat. And I'm going to read the comments as they come by. Some tech issues with the slides, but that's okay. So in the chat, how are you feeling? Kathy, you says concerned. Oliver is happy. Denise is anxious. Patricia is enjoying hearing somebody's dog and birds chirping. Awareness. Penny, worried about those who are social distancing alone. Yes. Eldritch, I'm finding peace and respite at home, but wary of the outside world. Abby is grateful, restless, and hopeful. Yes, holding all those at the same time. Susannah is more at peace than I've been in quite a while. I think many of us can feel that. Reese, they change day by day, sometimes hour by hour. Days, sometimes, yes. It's a roller coaster. Janine and Chris, peaceful in community, yet at home. Aaron's got an upside down smiley face, and I think that's a lot. Kenny's, I'm feeling like meh from the Emoji movie. Yeah, I remember meh. And Tasha, I'm angry, not all the time, but angry that the medical professionals do not have the PPE needed to save lives. Yes. I just have to give a breath for all our medical professionals on the front lines who are fighting this pandemic, who are working their best to save as many lives as they can, making the difficult decisions and putting their lives at risk. So thank you, Tasha. I think those are owl eyes from Bennett. Confusion. That's what I'm thinking. Lois is highly frustrated. I'm unable to access medical care. And Wendy, it's a bit depressed, but trying to stay optimistic. Carol Carter Walker is saying, focused on how our greed, both personal and institutional, has brought us here. Yes. I have deep sorrow for just our ways as a culture. We have greed and have allowed these things to happen where we are. Polly is worried and grateful. Kim, I'm starting to think about what is really important in my life. Kim says her mother died shortly before the virus hit, so simultaneously dealing with both and focusing on the blooming flowers. Give more meaning to the frequent admonitions to continuously build my personal brand online and a fabulous career. Thank you, Kim, for sharing that. I'm sorry to hear about your mother. Christine is grateful for family, but scared and concerned. Lynn, there's changing emotions, fear, powerlessness, calm, motivated, serene, grateful. Gillian, distracted from truth by too many facts. Yes. And Julie is grateful for snuggly babies. Thank you, Julie. Just a few more. Amethyst is feelings and thoughts of the unknown. They make clear what's really important. And Ebeth is tired from feeling so many things at once for so many days in a row. And sometimes we just have to, I know I have to just shut the computer off, turn the TV off, and just do my best to enjoy life. Jackie says she missed her husband. I'm sorry you missed your husband. And practicing peace, worried and angry. So I think we're gonna leave it there. You can continue to leave comments if you'd like and share with everybody, with your community. I want to just say it's all part of life, whatever we are feeling, all the things. But I want to leave with these last words that we may be accepting of ourselves, of all that life is bringing us, of all anxieties, fears, or serenity, calm that we're finding, to just accept it all. May we show compassion to our souls. May we have empathy to our bodies, and may we love our whole self. May it be so. Amen, Ashe, and blessed be. So I believe we have a song coming up. And that song is me. We're going to sing Hush. So just let this be kind of an extended meditation. Sing it to yourself, sing it to those around you, sing it to your spirit. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. I said hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do? I said it sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling my name. Oh, I said it sounds like the freedom. Somebody's calling my name. I said it sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord, what shall I do? Shall I do? Said it sounds like justice. Somebody's calling my name. Oh, said it sounds like justice. Somebody's calling my name. I said it sounds like justice. Somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do? Someone say hush, hush, hush. Somebody's calling my name. Oh hush, hush. Somebody's calling my name. I said hush, hush. Somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do? Oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do? Say, oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do? Amen.
Thank you, Josh. I certainly enjoyed singing along with nobody able to hear me. And now it's time for our offering. The work that we do in living out our Unitarian Universalist values within our congregation and in the world is only possible through the generosity of our members and friends. This Sunday's offering will be received using our Breeze online donation page, or it can be mailed to the church. And the information for both of those is available on the website. Now, as we listen to the offertory music, I will not place stones in the water because I forgot to get stones or water. But you can all imagine it virtually. And I want to recognize all of our joys and sorrows, both those shared via the chat bar as well as those unexpressed.
Let's do without the key though. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing in my mind, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing, there's a river flowing, there's a river flowing in my heart. So to bring up our closing words. From Judy Geiger, may the lessons of the dark time of the year deepen our roots, ground our spirits, and keep us true to our whole selves. May we find rest, know joy, and broaden our view. Now let us sing Spirit of Life together. Spirit of life, come unto me, sing in our hearts all the stirrings of compassion, blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, bringing life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, oh come to me.
And now I will extinguish the chalice. Remember to stay on after the music for leaving so that you can be part of our breakout coffee hour rooms. Okay.
Mom, I'm gonna leave when he's done with this music. Is that okay?
For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift, which we are called to use to build the common good and make our days our own. Go in peace.